It's been more than a decade since Herschel Walker was a regular fixture of the sports pages. His brilliant athletic career ended quietly and is now filed away with the legends of sport. But Herschel Walker, at age 46, is back in the public eye and about to make headlines once again.
God don't really care about me scoring touchdowns. God don't care about football. I want to help people.
The revelation is this. For all his life, Walker says he has suffered from dissociative identity disorder, or DID, a rare and controversial mental illness once called multiple personality disorder.
I had it the whole time. I just didn't know what it was. I just didn't know how to cope with it.
There goes Herschel! There goes Herschel!
That young man you saw racing down the sidelines for the Georgia Bulldogs in the early 1980s,
He's running over people!
or flattening would-be tacklers on the road to a national championship, the one who set world records in track and field,
Herschel Walker!
the one who won the Heisman Trophy. Walker says that wasn't him.
He's got a blocker!
The guy who played 15 seasons of pro football and once danced with the Fort Worth Ballet. The one with the obsession for speed, the businessman, the public figure, the husband. None of those guys are him either. Not really. Those are his alters, he says, alternate personalities.
It's just personalities that can do different things for you. I told somebody once, you don't want the Herschel that play football. You don't want the Herschel that do business babysitting your child. You want a different person. When I'm competing, I'm a totally different person.
Earlier this year, when word leaked that Walker was writing a book about his illness, the news was met with a collective and curious shrug. A former teammate, Kevin Butler, said, "I never saw him do anything I thought bordered on being weird or strange." Even his own father, Willis, expressed surprise. "I know him better than anybody because I raised him," he told an Atlanta paper, "and I don't know nothing about that disorder business." And Vince Dooley, Walker's coach at the University of Georgia, said, "That's news to me. All I know is whatever personality he had when he had the football is the one I liked."
Well, he probably did, so that means that he didn't care about the one that may have been suffering or hurting.
Are you shocked that really no one you really knew thought you had something like this, DID?
No, because why would they know that?
Your own father.
Right.
You never really noticed this at all.
Right. When would they ever see it? You got to remember this. It's a coping mechanism.
All of which has left Walker in the rather awkward position of having to convince skeptical friends, family, and the public that he really is mentally ill. Even he didn't buy it at first.
And like today, sometimes I may tell myself, Herschel, that's a bunch of crap. That's not real. But then I said that maybe an altar just trying to fool me. And say, Herschel, that ain't right.
Are you serious?
I know, I'm being very serious because that's what happens with a person that's like that. But I'm saying that it does exist.
But we're all different every day. Sometimes we have different ways, ways
yes, but
we act.
to how severe you are.
Walker, who now owns a food service company called Famous 34, would seem to have little to gain and a lot to lose from making such startling claims.
I heard somebody say, Herschel, you wrote a book because you needed money. I'm like, oh, geez, I don't make myself look like a crazy person because I need money. Oh, wow. I'm like, yeah, you real.
The job of DID is to hide the disorder. That's its job.
Jerry Mangadzi is Walker's therapist.
So I don't expect mom and dad and brothers and high school coach and friends, I don't expect them to know it.
While the disorder usually surfaces in adulthood, it is thought to develop from childhood trauma.
I was a fat little kid with a speech impediment, and I didn't love myself.
Among the hundreds of disorders defined by the American Psychiatric Association, DID is among the most contentious. Walker's diagnosis is sure to stir the pot.
I think one of the problems we have in our society is that Hollywood brought us our definition of DID. And everybody thinks that DID should look like that.
In 1976, Sally Field introduced America to Sybil Dorsett, a traumatized young woman fractured into more than a dozen personalities, little girls, boys, a grandmother.
You're gonna hook me! You're gonna hook me!
The movie won 4 Emmys, but was widely panned by mental health experts as over-the-top and misleading, and misconceptions about the disorder linger to this day.
And that's one of Herschel's missions, is that I want to make sure people know that you don't have to be a SIBO to be DID. These alters are not just developed to carry trauma. They're also developed to help a person adapt to life and function.
And for most of Walker's life, he says, that's just what they did. The warrior altar handled football and the pain that comes with it. The hero took over in public. The sentry kept friends and family at a distance.
It's not something people do consciously. Once he switched to that part of him, there's a thing we call amnesia that separates that part of the brain from the other part of the brain.
Mangazi says he met one of Walker's alters who actually appeared to be of a different race.
I remember noticing that he put his fingers in his hair exactly the way a white person would.
What do you mean? So,
You know,
normally you would never do this, and I
no,
would?
I'll never do that.